going? Sorry, I'm just reading my note here that Ambrose Clive left me. It just says cooking with Clive, and then it's what I believe to be a picture of like a pork shoulder, I think. So I think it's him sort of letting me know that he's gone to bed, but he knows our pork shoulder has to cook sort of low and slow for a significant amount of time. So he basically left me that note and said, hey, old man, get the pork shoulder going so we can make pulled pork sandwiches tomorrow. So he's going to get me to do all this overnight, and he'll roll in tomorrow and get all the credit. So that's just my life now anyways. So yeah, welcome to Cooking with Clive. We are going to make pulled pork sandwiches. Okay, so let's talk about our meat, I guess. We just have like a couple pounds of pork shoulder. I got it at the farmer's market in Glasgow. We picked it up on Saturday. So it's a cut of pork that gets used a lot by the animal. So it's tough, but it has a lot of flavor. If the muscle gets moved a lot and used a lot by the animal, it's going to be tougher, but it's going to have more flavor. The muscle is like the tenderloin and things that aren't used a lot. They're not as tough. They're tender, but they don't have the same flavor. They don't have depth of flavor. And because they're so tough, we got to break down all the connective tissue and sort of get that meat sort of melting and cooking low and slow, and get all that connective tissue to sort of melt away and make it nice and tender and delicious. So we're going to, use our just a slow cooker, just a normal slow cooker. It's just a little one here that we have. I'm going to use that to cook it overnight, low and slow. But first, I'm going to put some dry rub on it and put a good sear on it in my cast iron pan here. Oftentimes I'll put a dry rub on it and let it sort of sit overnight so the spices can sort of permeate into the meat a little bit, and then I'll sear it off, and then I'll cook it overnight. It's a process. You want to make good pulled pork. It's a process. You're going to have to take a few steps to do it. It's going to take some time, but it's time that you can just sort of get everything set up and then forget it for 8 to 12 hours and then come back and it'll be delicious. So let's get into this, okay? So we have our dry rub. So I was going to try and remember this, so I'm going to read it. So I have a dry rub here. I tend to go on the sweeter side when it comes to my dry rub for the pork. I have a tablespoon, or I guess half a tablespoon of brown sugar in it. It's pretty sweet, but I like to put a little heat in it later on, so get the heat and sweet balance going on. But yeah, I got a half a tablespoon of brown sugar, teaspoon of oregano, half a tablespoon of paprika, half a teaspoon of cayenne, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, half a teaspoon of nutmeg, which is a fun little thing I like to put in there. Okay, so I got all that up. I'm going to rub it all over my pork. Okay. So I just have my pork here. I am going to take the dry rub and just rub it all over. I'm also going to get my pan heating up, okay? But I'm just going to take the dry rub, just put a whole bunch on every side, push it in, okay? Get that dry rub in on all the sides, okay? I don't want to touch it again. I'm going to put some on our sauce later, so I'm going to leave a little bit in there for the sauce later. But just dry rub it, get it all over the place. Push it all into this fat cap. Get this all rubbed up. Get your hands in it. Yeah, get it all rubbed up and ready. Okay? Boom. Now we're going to let my pan heat up a little bit. I'm going to sear it all on all sides. Get the caramelization started, right? Another layer of flavor when you're talking about building dishes, right? You want to build those flavors in every layer, and it'll all come together in the end. So I'm going to wash my hands and we're ready to sear off this pork. My pan's pretty much hot enough now, so I'm just going to take my piece of pork. It's beautiful. That spice rub's all sort of permeated through it. I'm just going to lay it down in my pan. Listen to it sing to me. I'm going to do a little dance, okay? I'm going to let that go. I'm going to cook it on all sides, right? I'm going to hold it up, cook the fat. I'm really going to sort of get some caramelization going. Okay, So while this is cooking up, I'm going to start putting some things in here, okay? Some liquids and some flavors, things like that. So first thing I'm going to do is I got half an onion, just half a yellow onion. I'm just going to sort of quarter that up. So I got sort of 4 chunks of onion I'm just going to put in there. And then I'm going to put in just about half a beer or so. Okay. About that much. Okay. Then, excuse me, let me get a little spin here. Okay. Then I'm going to put in some applesauce, whatever you have. Like, this is literally like one of Ambrose's pomegranate flavored applesauces, whatever. I would normally just use like unsweetened applesauce, but whatever you have around the house that you think is going to add flavor to this. Pork and apple go well together. It's going in. Okay. Applesauce, and that's more sweet, right? There's brown sugar in the rub. There's applesauce there. There's a little bit of sweetness in the onions. Okay, so I like the sweet and heat. Sweet and heat, I like it. So I'm just going to take some hot sauce here, just some Frank's Red Hot, and I'm just going to put about 2 good tablespoons, 2 heavy tablespoons in there. And then I'm going to turn this on. Okay, and this is going to start bubbling away. A little salt and pepper. Okay. And we're just going to let that heat up, and then we'll put our pork in it when we're done searing off our pork. Okay, so I'm just going to put that on, let that slip to the side. Whatever you have that you think is going to taste good with the pork, put it in there. Okay, that's going to render down. The juice of the pork is going to come out. It's going to make a nice little sauce at the bottom. I'm going to bump it up with a little bit of barbecue sauce thing, some more of that dry rub. When it tosses it all together, it's going to be awesome. Okay, let's look at our pork here. Okay, so our pork's in the pan. Like I said, it's just a small piece of pork shoulder, right? But I'm just going to flip it over. I got some caramelization. All these brown bits are going to be great flavor. Okay, so I'm going to let that go to the browns on that side. I'm going to stand it up on this fat for a few minutes, render some of that beautiful fat down. Okay, but I'm going to get it so it looks all like this on every side. And then I'm going to pop it into that slow cooker, and we're going to let it go overnight. Okay, so I got both sides and the top sort of all caramelized pretty good. So I'm just going to take this piece of pork, put it in the slow cooker, right? Put the top on it, and just leave it on low overnight. It's going to go for like, it's a small piece of pork, like it's going to go for like 8 hours probably, and then I'll sort of, pull it up really good. And then Ambrose will be back, he'll be up, he'll be ready to go, so he'll help us like, I don't know, make a barbecue sauce and a coleslaw, maybe toast a bun or something, and then he'll claim he, did it all, and whatever, but it doesn't bother me, whatever. Anyways, it's going to be awesome. So tomorrow, Ambrose Clive will be here. We are going to, pull this pork and make a pretty killer sandwich. So I will see you all in the morning. Don't judge me if I have the same clothes on. It's a quarantine. What are you eating?
Apple.
Apple? Does an apple go with pork?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, welcome to the show, Ambrose Clive. So nice of you to join us. Oh, are you showing them a chive? Is that a chive?
Yeah.
Yeah. So last night, while you were dreaming of farm animals and apples and pulled pork, I got our pulled pork going. So we got that pork going. It's been going for, it cooked about 8 hours in that slow cooker, and it turned out great, right? So 8 to 12 hours will really break it down nice for you, okay? So to go with that pork, we're gonna make some coleslaw really quickly. I showed you how to do that in our fish taco video, but Ambrose has some purple cabbage here, okay? So he's got some purple cabbage there, but we're gonna make the base of this coleslaw now while he throws the purple cabbage everywhere. So it's pretty simple. I mean, find a mayo you have, mayo, Miracle Whip. Honestly, they'll sort of work here. Just put a good blob of that in. It's probably a couple tablespoons, okay? Yeah, it's more like 3 tablespoons. So, 3 tablespoons of that in there. And then I'm just gonna add probably a couple tablespoons, at least 1.5 sort of tablespoons of vinegar here. I want it to be quite tart, like our rub was a little bit sweet, okay? Our pork's gonna be kind of sweet. So I'm gonna put that in there, and then I'm just gonna put in just a pinch of sugar, just like probably a teaspoon of sugar, and mix that up. And you get our dressing, and that's sort of a basic coleslaw dressing. Just some sort of mayo, vinegar, some sugar to balance it out. Okay? But make it as sweet or as tart as you want. It's all sort of personal, right? Personal preference. That tastes good. Okay, so to that, I have some chives here that Ambrose was playing with. So I'm just gonna quickly cut up a few chives for us. Okay. Okay, woo, the chives flying everywhere. Okay, I'm gonna take our chives, throw them in with our dressing, right? Boom, done. I have an apple here. Ambrose Clive was nice enough to let me have some of his apple. So I'm just gonna cut some thin little pieces. Oh, no. There's a knife here. There's a knife here. So you gotta be careful. Here, take that apple. Don't reach in when Daddy's using the knife, okay? So I'm just gonna thinly cut up some slices of apple. Okay? And I'm just gonna add those in with our cabbage, okay? And after that, it's just sort of mixing your dressing in with your cabbage, a little salt and pepper. And I mean, you officially have a cool little coleslaw. Tasty, little apple-y, oniony coleslaw. I mentioned before, sort of, I would let that sort of hang out and break down for at least a few hours in your fridge, if not overnight. And that's going to go great on our pulled pork sandwich. So, I mean, we have our pork, we have our coleslaw, right?
Yeah.
We have our Bramble Hill greens,
Yeah.
right? What else do we need?
Apple.
Apples? Oh, we can put some slices of apples on it. What about buns? Do we need a bun? Yeah, okay. So let's get everything organized and we're going to build buns. We're going to build a pulled pork sandwich. Are you ready?
Bun.
Yeah, we already said buns. You should have been here last night when we were going over the notes. You were sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's build a sandwich.
Yeah. No.
Well, which is it? Yes or no? Do you want to build a sandwich or do you not want to build a sandwich?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. What do you got there? How come I gave you this bowl if you're just going to dump it all over the island? I don't know. Play is going to play. No? Okay, pulled pork. So, yeah, for me personally, the perfect pulled pork sort of starts with a bun, I guess. And just like the hamburger episode we did, I need that bun toasted, okay? So we got some buns that we made. We made them here. There's a hamburger bun episode. I think it's out there somewhere. I don't know if it's on YouTube yet, but I'll upload it. Anyways, find a good hamburger bun recipe. Make your own hamburger buns. It's super easy, and you'll never go back. So I have these lightly buttered. I'm just going to toss them in my cast iron pan right here. Bing! And I'm going to let those toast up while we talk about our beautiful pulled pork. So here is our pulled pork. Okay, here are the bones that came in it that just slipped right out after 8 hours of low and slow. Okay, now I used the slow cooker because I just had a little piece of pork and I just wanted to get it done. But normally if I have like a whole pork butt or pork shoulder, I'll sort of sear it off, put it in an insert or some sort of big pan, wrap it up, put it in my oven or a big crock pot or something, put it in my oven and let it go overnight for 8 to 12 hours. But I just did it in the slow cooker and it works beautiful. Slow cookers are amazing for making pulled pork. So we have our pulled pork here. So good. Do you want to try some pulled pork?
Yep.
Here you go. Try it. Oh, I'm feeding you? Okay, here. Try it. See how you like that vinegar. Nah, not a believer yet, but we'll get him there. So I mentioned when I was making the pork that we were going to sort of fortify and build the sauce, maybe with a few other things, but like that beer and applesauce and hot sauce and all the fat and flavors that render out of that pork made this nice and saucy. Is there pulled pork flying around here? Just because you don't like it right now doesn't mean you have to throw it everywhere. In a toddler's mind, that is exactly what you do with something you don't like, or something you like, or just anything that's in your hand gets thrown. But we only throw balls, right?
Balls?
Do we only throw balls?
No.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so the pork's fantastic. We're not going to do anything to the sauce there. We talked about our coleslaw earlier, so that's looking good. That's been hanging out for a little bit. I got some Bramble Hill micro mix here, and I got a couple tangy dill pickles too that we might put on it. But that's it. So once your bun's toasted up, you're just building a sandwich. So we'll just be patient and wait for our buns to toast. How's that bun? Good?
Bun.
Is that bun good?
No more bun.
You want more buns? But you're not even done with the bun you're eating. Do you like to eat half of something and then want more of it? Yep.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, let's build an unreal pulled pork sandwich.
Bye.
What do you mean buy? Can you say pulled pork?
Purple.
Yeah.
Purple.
Can you say pulled pork sandwich?
Purple. Ten.
Yeah, excellent job. Let's do it. Okay, are you ready to build an awesome pulled pork sandwich?
No.
No? What do you want?
Purple.
A pickle? Okay, here's a pickle. My little pickle eater. Look at that. What's this? What's this? Look. Hello, 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 hello. I am a pickle. Do you want to eat me?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, you can eat me. Here you go. Eat that pickle. Yummy, yummy, yummy. I got pickle juice all over me. Okay. Pulled pork sandwich. So I have our toasted bun. Beautifully toasted bun. Nice and warm and soft, but crispy and crunchy. Okay. So I'm going to put on a bed of Bramble Hill greens. Now, a lot of people are like, don't put soft, delicate greens on the bottom of something hot. But my pulled pork sandwich, my pulled pork's not super hot, right? It's not fresh out of the slow cooker. It's been hanging out for about an hour. It's pulled, it's beautiful, it's warm, but it's not hot. Okay, so just take some of that beautiful pulled pork. Oh, this is gonna be so good. Okay, pile that pulled pork up there. Don't be shy. You made it. You might as well enjoy it and have a nice, beautiful sandwich. Okay, pulled pork sandwich. I'm gonna put a little bit of this slaw on it. Beautiful slaw right on top of that. Oh, yeah, there's apples in that. Remember we put those in there? It's a beautiful apple slaw. Oh, if you want, you can put a pickle on top. I might do that for this one. I won't for the other one. Just a nice pickle. And then your top bun. And you got yourself what I would say is a pretty sweet looking pulled pork sandwich. Yes. High five.
My turn.
High five. Yeah.
My turn.
Your turn to build a sandwich?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to let him build a sandwich, and then we're going to eat. Are you going to eat that pickle?
Yeah.
You're just a pickle-eating machine. Do you want to try a sandwich? Do these sandwiches look tasty?
Pickle.
Oh, okay, yeah, whatever, dude. You eat the pickle. Daddy's eating the sandwich. Oh. Oh. Oh, man. That's a good sandwich. Yeah. Pulled pork sandwiches are really good. Okay. You're just going to eat that pickle? I think so. Well, thanks for stopping by today. I'm glad you came and showed Daddy how to make a pulled pork sandwich. A little slice of apple. That is good. Can you say goodbye?
Hi.
Take two. Can you say goodbye?
Bye.
You're a two-taker. Good job. High five. Yeah, pickle juice high fives. Bye-bye. Make pulled pork sandwiches. They're delicious.